All right, everybody, welcome to our freezer meal webinar with 9010 Nutrition for, what day is it? It's March 30th. So we're almost done with March, and we're super excited to have you here on this webinar. I'm going to introduce myself. My name's Ryan Chapman, and I created 9010 Nutrition back in 2012. And I'll actually tell you a little bit about that story here in a second, because I know we got some people on here who don't know that story. Actually, some people probably from our community even don't know the whole story of how 9010 even started. So I'll tell a little bit of that story in just a second, but I want to introduce my cohorts here, my other partners here on this webinar that you're seeing. We have it shows on my left. I don't know what you guys are seeing, actually. It's probably different, but it's Lisa Madsen, actually probably on my right, on my, I don't know. Lisa's right there. Anyway, and Heidi is right here for me. But anyway, so Lisa Madsen is, she is the, how do I describe it? She is she's in charge of our community. She's the commander of community. The reverend of relationship. I don't know. There's lots of
Wow.
She is in charge of our community. She's the sergeant of support, even if you'll go
wow.
there. I'm just making these up on the fly. The admiral of accountability. She's
Stop. Just stop.
She's the one who takes care of our 9010 community. So she's in charge of making sure that that's an awesome, supportive place. Many of you are in the community, so you know what I'm talking about. So that is Lisa Madsen. Say hi to everyone, Lisa. Don't say hi to everyone, Lisa. Say hi to everyone.
Hi. Hi, Amy, Rochelle, Christina, Tamara.
No. Come on, that's going to take way too long. You already said hi on the chat.
Oh, hi.
Very literally.
Oh, hi. Oh, they don't get that. Sorry.
Do you guys know why you can't, why it's hard to explain puns to a kleptomaniac? Because they always take things literally. Okay, moving on. Below me here is the lovely Heidi Bortz. If you are in our community, you know Heidi as our meal planner. Boy, now I got to come up with admiral names and things for meal planning, don't I?
You do.
She's the Fuhrer of food. That's what she is.
So awful.
How do I come up with these things? I don't even know. Heidi is in charge of our meal planning and recipes and all that kind of stuff. And so all the weekly meal plans that 9010 Nutrition puts out. Madam of Menus. Look at that. We've got them going on the chat, even on the Madam of Menus.
For sure.
What's that?
I like that better than Führer, for sure.
Führer. Just because you associate it with Hitler. It's the name of a someone who's in charge in Germany. It's not that big of a deal.
Captain Freeze.
Let's keep going with that. I love this kind of stuff. Okay, so Heidi Bortz and Lisa Madsen, and I'm Ryan Chapman. So if you don't know us now, hopefully you know us a little bit. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the backstory of 9010 before we get going on the freezer meals. Is that okay with everyone? I'm going to do it anyway, but it'd be nice.
Type in yes.
Do you guys want to hear the story? Because I think it's a pretty good story. It's fun to listen to, how it all came about. Because this is not something that the three of us or me or anybody thought up because it was like, hey, how could we, put together a really good diet plan or something like that. It came from years of experimentation and finding what worked. And so what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can hopefully bring up my screen for you so you can see, because pictures are worth 1,000 words, and at least that's what they say anyway, right? Don't they say something like that?
They do.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Can somebody give me a yes, a thumbs up, something that you can see that screen? Thumbs up, a yes. Okay, Christina's got it. Oh, Rochelle raised her hand. I think that means that she can see it, hopefully. Okay, Good. So this is a picture of cute little me on the lower right there at my baseball team when I was probably 7 or 8, maybe. And the interesting thing, so I grew up in a house with pretty poor nutrition. It was 6 kids, and there was a lot of processed food. Tell me, all of you, tell me on the chat here if any of you grew up with these items: Costco corn dogs, Costco bagel bites, hamburger helper, Kraft macaroni and cheese, rice-a-roni. Trying to think if there's any more big ones. Ragu spaghetti sauce, which is not necessarily that bad, but probably the ones we used were. SpaghettiOs. Betty says, hamburger helper. Velveeta mac and cheese. Yes, that was like the treat one. Like we had Kraft macaroni and cheese, and then every once in a while we got Velveeta mac and cheese. It was more expensive. Christina says no to the Costco stuff, yes to everything else. Ranch dressing, yes, Lisa. Yes, ranch dressing for sure. Lots of that kind of stuff, and no real attention to the labels on anything. Barb, yeah, a lot of hamburger helper. I knew how to make hamburger helper myself when I was like 8. One of 6 kids, I had to help out. I was one of the older ones, and so I would make a lot of that kind of stuff. And I had dessert after every meal. Oh, another one, Pop-Tarts. Pop-Tarts were huge because the kids could just go grab them, and they didn't need help, so we could just go grab Pop-Tarts. And then like the Velveeta mac and cheese version of that, like the special one was toaster strudel. We used to have Pillsbury toaster strudel was like the special treat. Yes, cereal, things like that. Okay, so you guys get it. You've been there. That's how I grew up, and you can see what it looked like on me. The interesting thing about this photo is behind me, the 2 kids behind me are twins. And I thought that they were the overweight kids on the team when I was growing up. So I really didn't consider myself the fat kid, or the overweight kid, if you want to put it nicer. But I didn't consider myself that. But I was had to shop in the Husky department, so I kind of knew a little bit, okay? So that's a picture of me young. There's probably about 13, 14 years old. And because I started to realize as I got older that, I was overweight and I did want to lose weight, around 10, 12, 13, 14 years old, I started putting myself on diets. And what I would do for a diet is I would calorie count. And my calorie count when I was younger was 1,200 calories. How many of you have been on a calorie counting diet? How many of you have been on a 1,200 calorie diet? Or less? Yep, Christina has. Karen Roby raised her hand. Yep, Amy Brook. A couple more people raised their hand. It just says 2 participants. I don't know who they are. Julie Scott, of course, Rochelle Cam 1,000, Lori Griffith, everybody. See, look at that. Everybody's been on there. Tamara says their entire Navy career. Yep, LOL. Everybody's done this, right? I was doing this, and what would happen? You can tell me too if this is what happened to you too. It would work, right? I would lose 15 pounds. I would lose 20 pounds. I would lose 30 pounds. One time when I was 12, I lost 40 pounds when I was 12. And almost got to the point where it was like I almost wasn't overweight anymore. 40 pounds when I was 12 years old. But you know what? By the time I was 13, I was 50 pounds heavier than that. So I gained that back plus 10 more, right? And I did this consistently from the time I was 12 till the time I was nearly 25. I went up and down. So that was just last year because I'm 26 right now. But does anybody believe that? I don't know if anybody believes that. The LOL tells me no, nobody believes that. No, but till I was 25, like I went up and down, up and down. There's a straight no. No. But I went up and down, up and down, up and down. I remember in college, I lost 50 pounds one time, gained it all back and more. Okay, so here's a picture of me at the end of college. That is 2003. And I'm about 260 pounds in that photo. When I got my job at the shipyard in Bremerton, I gained another 15 pounds because then I had money and all of my bad habits were amplified a little bit more than they were in college, which is hard to believe, but they were, I could drink even more Mountain Dew because I had money to pay for it. So I gained another 15 pounds. I was up to 275 pounds. And at the shipyard, I got into a weight loss contest with a buddy of mine, which was a good thing. I got in a weight loss contest, but I went back to Old Faithful, which was a 1,500 calorie diet. So that's what I had been doing since I got older, 14, 15 years old, was 1,500 calories. And that was working for me. It took me a year, but I lost 100 pounds doing it leading up to my wedding. I had this huge thing sitting out in front of me, like I need to do this. And so I lost 100 pounds and I got married at I think I lost only like 80 or 85 before the actual wedding. I think I was about 190, 195 at the wedding, but I lost 100 pounds overall. And the thing about that, yes, she is beautiful, isn't she? That's why I always put this picture in here, because that's one of my favorite pictures. But the thing about that year is, although it worked, I was working out 90 minutes a day playing racquetball, at least an hour and a half, 4 to 5 times a week playing racquetball. I was, oh yeah, Rochelle, you were there at that wedding. That's right. I was eating only 1,500 calories. I was eating processed food. And a lot of times I was saving calories for like ice cream or M&Ms. I was drinking tons of Diet Coke, all this bad food. And what that led to was that I would often have to go to bed hungry because I really wasn't eating food that was sustaining me. I was putting junk in my body, but staying under a certain calorie limit. So I wasn't really that healthy. I mean, you could argue that having 100 pounds less on you is more healthy than what the processed food was doing to me. Right, at that lower amount, you could argue that, but I wasn't really, really healthy, right? And so I kind of went on from there. There's kind of a good before and after picture in the same color shirt of how it looks with pretty much 100 pounds gone. But as I went on from this, 1,500 calorie diet, I started to learn more and more things about nutrition, and I started to get into triathlons. And when I got into triathlons, that's where I had a turning point, because it was really hard to maintain weight and not gain weight when you're doing long endurance stuff, because you can't eat. I don't know if any of you are, runners or triathletes or work out a lot. You can't eat 1,500 calories and run 10 miles. It does not work. You have to eat more, because otherwise you will die on the run. And I don't mean that literally necessarily, but I mean, you'll have a hard time running, right? And so I would eat more, but I was still eating the processed food. And so then I would gain weight, and I'd be training and running 10 miles and gaining weight. And so then I would eat less, and then my training would suffer. And I was like, something has to, there's got to be something different. And that's when I had, there's a good picture of me and my dad, actually, some more before and after for you. But that's when I had a turning point on when someone posted a very specific thing on Facebook. They posted this simple thing, and this is what led to 90-10 Nutrition. I am getting to the point, by the way. They posted, why don't you try counting ingredients instead of counting calories? And I thought, count ingredients instead of counting calories, does that even work? Like, what are you talking about? Like, just count ingredients and don't worry about your calories. And they gave this example that I still use to show people the power of what we do with 90-10 Nutrition and the power of real food. They said, let's just start out with these 3 items that people, this was like what I was eating, right? A Kellogg Smart Start cereal sounds really healthy because it's Smart Start, right? It's got original antioxidants in it and 8 grams of protein. And, okay, so this is what I eat for breakfast. And then Wheat Thins for a snack. It's whole grain, sounds good. And then a lean cuisine for lunch. I used to take lean cuisines to lunch all the time. They're only like 300, I think this one says 330 calories on it or something like that. That fit into my 1,500 calories really well. And what this guy said when he posted this is he said, let's take a look at the ingredients list for those 3 items. And this is what came up. 130 plus ingredients, some that you can't pronounce, you can't recognize, you don't know what the heck is in this food. Now, let me ask you, look at this here. If you made fettuccine Alfredo at home, that bottom paragraph, do you think that you would put all those things in it if you made fettuccine Alfredo at home? Would you put dehydrated flavor, maltodextrin, citric acid, gum arabic, natural flavor? Would you put modified cornstarch in it? Would you put, what else is in here that's like,
I always add maltodextrin to my chicken Alfredo.
Oh, yeah. Do you? You always add maltodextrin, huh? Potassium chloride, Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff in here that's like, what? I'm not even sure really what that partially hydrogenated soybean oil. You got a bunch of that laying around in your pantry, right?
Oh, I totally have that.
Okay. So this is what really hit me. I was like, wow, that is a lot of ingredients, right? And so then he did this on the post. He was like, let me show you something else. What if I take oatmeal and honey and eat that for breakfast instead of the cereal? And I took blueberries and ate that instead of the wheat thins. And then I took chicken, green beans, 7-minute green beans, by the way, that's an inside joke if you don't know it, and brown rice, and even a little butter to go on the brown rice and the green beans. Total ingredients there is 7 ingredients. That's including 2 ingredients from the butter, right? Okay, so the processed version, the lean cuisine version, has 610 calories, 11 grams of fat, 109 carbs, 22 grams of protein, and 130 ingredients. The real food version has almost the exact same stats. In fact, you could, change things a little bit, a little less of this, and get it exactly the same, and 7 ingredients. And this is what changed my mind about food. And this is what started 90-10 Nutrition. I did an experiment in the summer of 2010 for 45 days where I limited my ingredients and not my calories. And my average intake was 800 calories more than my normal dieting calories, 1,500. I was working out about the same as I used to when I was doing 1,500 calorie diets. And I had a 15-pound weight loss in 45 days from 2,300 calories.
Hey, Ryan,
yes.
You get hungry when you were doing that?
No, not on 2,300 calories, because I wasn't counting the calories for the purpose of limiting them. I was just eating until I was full, and it came out to 2,300 calories, right? So I wasn't trying to hit 2,300 calories or trying to limit to 2,300 calories. I was just eating, and when I was full, I was full. And then I tracked it so I knew, because it was an experiment. I'm an engineer, I had a spreadsheet and everything, right? And so I found out that I had 800 more calories than I normally would eat if I was dieting. And I found out that my fat intake went way up, because I thought I had to keep my fat intake down to about 20 or 25%. And when I did this just naturally and didn't worry about it and just ate real foods, and whatever they were, as long as they were clean and real food, then I was eating avocados, because I wouldn't eat avocados before because they're so dense in calories, right? Or coconut oil or olive oil or things, because it's 2 tablespoons of olive oil, it's like 300 calories or something. I can't do that because I got to stay under 1,500. My fat intake went up to 35 or 40%. It was crazy. So this is what got me into doing 90-10 Nutrition. I said, okay, there's something to this. And I came up with a method for helping people learn how to eat food that's real instead of processed, with tiers, green, yellow, and red tiers that kind of tell you how to do it. So just one more thing on this real quick, just an example of why this works and what you should be looking at. And you're going to see when we do these freezer meals. I promise we're getting to the freezer meals, okay? Hope I'm not boring you here, but we are getting to the freezer meals. But you'll see that we use real ingredients. When you look at the nutrition facts, that's what most people pay attention to, right? Is the nutrition facts. You see, fat and carbs and protein and sugar grams and all this kind of stuff. When you look at the ingredients, you see, for Jif Creamy Peanut Butter here, roasted peanuts, you have sugar, molasses, hydrogenated vegetable oils, mono and diglycerides. You can see that there's 3 grams of sugar in it, 7 grams of protein, right? Now, if we go to Adam's Natural Peanut Butter, you see that it has almost the same stats. It actually has 1 more gram of protein, 2 grams less of sugar, and you go to the ingredients, and it's basically just peanuts and salt, right? And so my argument is that the ingredients list is where you need to be looking to see what's healthy or not. Because if you just looked at the nutrition facts between Jif Creamy Peanut Butter, which has sugar in it, and Adam's Peanut Butter that doesn't have sugar in it, it's almost the same, right? Same protein, basically, same calories, all that kind of stuff. Look at this. If you just looked at sugar grams and protein and fat and carbs and stuff, you wouldn't eat an apple, because it has 13 grams of sugar in it, according to the nutrition facts. It has no protein, and it has 17 grams of carbs. And in our day, carbs are carbs are the enemy, and sugar grams are the enemy. But this is an apple. This is an apple. This is one of the best things on earth for you. It's real food. It's a piece of fruit. It came off a tree, right? And so people are paying attention to nutrition facts, and what we do is we pay attention to the ingredients, and we try to keep the ingredients be real things that we know what they are. And that's what you'll find when we do this webinar on healthy freezer meals with Heidi Bortz. So I don't know, had you guys, how many of you had not heard that story before and didn't know where 90-10 nutrition came from? I guess if you've heard it, say yes. If you hadn't heard it, say no. Or so now I don't know what raising your hand means because I said. So Cheryl hadn't heard it before. Tamara had heard it. Tamara had heard it before. Sam hadn't heard it. Betty hadn't heard of it. Julie has heard part of it. I know Rochelle had heard it before. I'm pretty sure she's come to one of our events or seen it somewhere. Yep. Okay. So hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more about why 90-10 nutrition works. And, you know, Heidi, you could tell just for like a minute, 2 minutes. I get to talk most of the time. You only get 2 minutes. But you could talk about, you know, how you got into freezer meals, right? Because it was kind of like you liked the idea of freezer meals, but they weren't like this, right? They were not healthy.
Right. Right. So a friend of mine that I run with did freezer meals as her career, basically her extra side job money. And we were running together and she said, I really want you to have a freezer meal party. And I said, well, I like the idea, but I don't eat condensed soups, and I don't, you know, I won't put that in my body, and I won't feed it to my kids. I don't agree with it. So if we can figure out a way to do it that meets the 90-10 criteria, I'll do it. You know, I'll be in. And so she said, okay, well, can you help me figure out a menu? And I said, sure. And so we worked together and we figured out a menu of 6 meals that met the 90-10 criteria. And I needed 6 people to come to the party to get my meals free. We had 13 people that first time. And I was like, okay, so people want healthy and they want convenient. They want both. So let's see if we can keep offering that to them. And so I stayed with her for a while, and then she had some stuff come up in her life and she couldn't do the freezer meals for me anymore. And so but I still had people just basically demanding it. They wanted freezer meals and they wanted them to be healthy and they wanted me to offer them. And I'm like, hey, Stephanie's not doing it anymore. I don't know what to tell you. You know, I really did not want to do them. I was like, I don't want to do all the shopping. I don't want to do all but the demand was too much for me to resist. And so I just kept going with it. And I started a group on Facebook, and that group has 1,300 people in it now. And so I think we've really like found a niche that hasn't been found before, as far as they're freezable, they're fast, they're healthy. It's everything in one package.
Personally, I'm not really into healthy and convenient at the same time, but
No.
but I see why other people would be, you know. But yeah, so that's very cool. I mean, like we've done these at home, and I think they're easier than stopping and picking up fast food. I mean, like it actually takes less time to throw this stuff in a bag and throw it in the freezer, and then on the day you want it, like throw it in the crock pot, and you come home and it's real ingredients that you know, and it's not pink slime meat in an enriched bun. You know, I mean, like it's actually good for you. That sounds good, doesn't it?
Darn. Okay, well, I have to get a new menu now because I totally had pink slime in this.
Whoops. Uh-oh. Ammonia washed meat. Oops.
Yes.
All right. Are you guys ready to go? Are you bored yet? Because I just bored you with this whole story. I hope not. We're going to actually start the freezer meals now. So Heidi, it's all yours.
Okay.
Go for it. Wow us with your freezer meals.
I don't know about wowing. Okay. So how many people are going to actually cook with us, and how many are just watching? You know
Yeah, if you're actually doing the meals as we go, let us know that, because we want to, if nobody's doing the meals as we go, we'll probably go a little faster, right? Watching. Amy's doing the meals. Good. Okay. All right. So Amy, anytime, like if we're going too fast or something like that, just let us know and we can slow down. I think we'll stop every once in a while and ask, but we don't want to get too far ahead of you. So.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna start with meatloaf. It's the hardest of the three, so we might as well get it out of the way. So I'm gonna blow you away with how difficult this is. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, all right, I have a big bowl and I have a stirrer. So that's what you need to start with. 1 pound of ground beef. This is 90% lean, 10% fat. I got it at Sam's Club for $2.98 a pound. I would want to argue with anyone who says eating healthy is too expensive.
So $3 in the bowl.
$3 a pound. All right, this is ground turkey. That's going in the bowl.
That's a pound as well?
A pound as well, yep.
Okay.
Okay, so a pound
That
of
was
beef.
probably more expensive than $2.98 a pound, probably.
Yeah, I think Aldi has it for like $4.99 or $3.99.
Okay.
But this meatloaf makes a lot, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, a half a cup milk, which I don't have ready, so I'll be right back.
It's got to stay in the fridge, you know.
Exactly.
While she's doing that, I got to tell you a story. You know, like 2 webinars ago. When was that webinar? Was it February? And you see that it says like faith, hope, love up there above Heidi. In February, she still had Christmas decorations there. I'm not kidding. Hey, this is being recorded.
I don't care. You totally deserved it.
Well, you changed it so I couldn't make fun of you on this webinar, so I had to tell the story.
I have accepted that this is my position in this trio. All right, I have a cup of milk.
All righty.
And any milk works. This was 2% because that's what I grabbed first. You can use skim, you can use nut milk, any milk works. Okay, a half a cup of breadcrumbs. This is 1 heel of 1 bread, 1 piece of bread.
So you use like 100% whole wheat bread and just put it in the food processor?
I actually did mine in my KitchenAid mixer, but the food processor works probably even better.
Okay.
So this 1 heel actually made 3/4, but because it's fresh and because okay, Rochelle asked if it's toasted. It is not. This is fresh. You can use dry if you can find whole wheat. You can use wheat germ. You can use oats. You can use, there's so many different varieties here that you can put in here. This was just, nobody in my house eats the heels. So for me, this is a really good use of those. So it ended up being 3/4 of a cup, and I'm going to throw it all in there because it's a very forgiving recipe. Plus, if it was toasted, I think it would take up less room and be a half a cup. So
I've used almond meal too, which would make it be gluten-free, right?
yes.
Almond meal, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so that was a half a cup.
Would it be vegan then too? I'm just kidding.
I don't think so.
Meat.
Except for the 2 pounds of meat. Whoops.
If we want to go plant-based, we would have to go with a lentil loaf, I think.
Oh, not me. Not me. That's not for me, but
Okay. All right.
No judgment.
Okay. 2 eggs.
2 eggs. Excellent.
I use real eggs. You can use egg whites if you prefer. But like Ryan said, it's not about fat grams. It's not about, real eggs are just healthy, and there's a lot in the yolk that we need, so.
It's all real food. Put in all real food.
Use real food. Okay, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of salt.
You could use gluten-free bread or oatmeal probably. Yeah, just about anything that you want there.
This is just regular salt. You can use sea salt. You can use Himalayan salt, whatever kind of salt. Okay. A teaspoon of ground sage. I have these cute little spice dispensers, I guess they're called, and they fit in a little carousel. It runs around, and it measures and it pours and it scoops, and they're just wonderful. But anyway, so I'm doing a teaspoon of sage.
How many of those spice containers have you sold since we've been doing these freezer meals?
That's a good question.
I haven't sold any. I don't know how many Amazon has sold. Amy, did you buy one? I know Amy was interested. Okay, and now I'm doing a teaspoon of dried mustard. It's all going in 1 bowl. Okay, a half a teaspoon of pepper, black pepper.
Does anybody want a link to those spice things that she's using? I can go grab one and put it in the chat box if somebody wants it. Let us know if you want one.
We make nothing from those.
Yeah, I'm literally going on Amazon. Literally going on Amazon right now while she's cooking there.
All right, if you want to add frozen diced onions, you can. My family does not like onions in meatloaf, so I'm gonna skip it. But if you want to put them in there, put them in there. And then I just stir. I usually use my mixer, but for this, I'm gonna just stir it by hand. I just stir until it makes a sticky, coherent blob, I guess. Doesn't that sound appetizing?
Sticky, coherent blob.
I know, right?
That's a great description, man. People, that'll be flying off the shelves.
I'm so eloquent sometimes, I'm telling you.
All right, here you go. So let's see, send to everyone. There you go. There's your Amazon link for the measuring carousel. So those things are super cool. You just like open the bottom up and it's like 1/4 teaspoon per turn and it just drops right into your recipe. It's great.
Okay, Amy, you with me?
Amy's, I think I've distracted Amy with the carousels. She says she's almost in the pan.
Okay, so here's my blob.
Awesome.
Here's my pan. I'm gonna put the blob in the pan.
Well, while Heidi is putting the blob in the pan, I have to say that for 30 years, I tried to get my husband to like meatloaf, and he would never eat meatloaf, and he requests Heidi's meatloaf. He loves this meatloaf.
It is very good.
Shane, if you're listening, thank you.
He's ostracized.
Oh, okay. So is Daniel.
He gets kicked out of the house when we do these.
Okay. So I put my
The
loaf,
dogs are still here, but
I put my blob in my pan, and then I shaped it like a loaf. Got
You
it?
can see, yep. I think we got it.
Done.
So now for freezing that?
Okay, so for freezing it, I'm just gonna cover it with foil, maybe 1 or 2 layers, and stick it in the freezer.
And that's it.
That's it.
And then cooking it?
Light on it, meatloaf. To cook it after you freeze it, you thaw it all the way, and then cook it for about an hour at 350, uncovered.
Cool. So like maybe that morning or something, you take it out of the freezer so it thaws, and
I would take it out the day before. I think it's going to take a good day to thaw.
so just throw it in the fridge the day before and let it thaw that way, and then stick it in the oven.
Yes. And what
you can't freeze or you can't cook it from. I've never cooked it from frozen. I've never frozen it, so
I think it would take a really long time, like 3 hours or more. Mm-hmm. And I've never done it, so I can't give directions on how to do that. I'm sure it works just fine. But what I like to do is I like to thaw it all the way, and then I put sweet potatoes in the oven at the same time that I put the meatloaf in, and they're all done at the same time. So I have meatloaf and sweet potatoes, and then I just throw some green beans in for 7 minutes.
7 minutes. 7 minutes. Take note. 7 minutes. Boil the water till it's really
6 minutes?
boiling. Not or 6, Christina. Not or 6.
No, 6 does not work. I've tried it.
I'm going to start twitching.
8 minutes works okay.
Right.
8.
Okay, so you boil the water really, really good until it's really boiling. Throw the green beans in. 7 minutes later, you drain them, and you have perfect green beans. That's how it works.
And if you do that 7 minutes prior to when your meatloaf and potatoes are done, everything will be done at the same time.
And it'll be perfect, and it'll be awesome.
It will be perfect. It will be awesome. It'll be a great meal, and very, very little effort.
Awesome. Now, I think pizza pasta was the one that got the most, the most mentions. So that means we have to save it for last, right?
Okay. I'll do that.
That's so mean. Tell them a long story at the beginning. Make them wait all the way till the end for pizza pasta. Yeah.
Okay, so spaghetti's next.
Spaghetti is next.
Okay, this is gonna take a really long time. So if you guys need to like take a bathroom break or stuff like that, please feel free.
That's Heidi's sarcasm, if you didn't catch it.
All right, this literally has 4 ingredients.
Christina asked if we're afraid that we're going to lose viewers if we don't wait on it. I don't know. I have no idea if we'll lose viewers or not. Zero idea.
All right. This is like, you're going to take 4 things and put it in a bag and we're going to be done. Our ratings might drop. Ooh, not that. All right. First thing, gallon Ziploc bag or Glad or whatever brand you want to use. Gallon. 1 pound of ground beef, 90% lean or leaner. This is that 90% stuff from Sam's Club for $3 a pound. Okay, we're already a fourth of the way done, you guys. All right, the next thing, 1 jar of marinara sauce with no sugar. It's very hard to find, and sometimes you have to pay a little more, but it's worth it. Okay, this one happens.
We should note though, remember the apple on the story I was telling, that we're not talking about the grams of sugar on the nutrition facts. We're talking about in the ingredients, that it doesn't say sugar as one of the ingredients, or cane syrup, or dried cane syrup, or evaporated cane juice, or any of those.
Okay, so this sauce that I found at Walmart, it was $3.58 for a jar, which it's more than Prego and Ragu, but it's less than like Mama, what is it, Rouse, which was like $8 a jar. Okay, so this has 4 grams of sugar if you look at just the nutrition facts, but it has tomatoes, onions, olive oil, basil, salt, garlic, spices, and calcium chloride for ingredients. Now, calcium chloride is probably, I don't know, Ryan, what do you think? Do you think that's a processed ingredient? I think it's just for preservation of color.
Yeah, I'm not real worried about that one. A lot of times some of those things that you think, oh, what is that, is like vitamins, basically. Yeah. It's fortification and things like that. I'm not sure what calcium chloride is exactly, but it's like a color type of thing, I think is what they do that for. Okay,
so 1 jar is going in with the raw beef. I do not cook the beef first, because the crock pot is going to cook it for me.
Don't let that bag fall over now.
It's not. I got it. All right, 1 bag of onions. Again, this is optional. I'm putting it in. These are frozen diced onions, and if you ever chop another onion after you discover frozen diced onions, I will personally come over and slap you.
Wow. Just feels pretty strongly about that. I guess I don't chop onions anymore. I promise, Heidi.
Me neither. So aggressive. I had no idea Heidi was like that.
Why would you subject your eyes to that when you're
Rochelle, I thought we had them at Safeway here.
We do.
Walmart has them. I got them at Walmart today.
Trader Joe's has them.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them at Trader Joe's, actually. They have diced. I thought they only had pearl onions frozen.
No, they have diced onions. I've gotten them from Trader Joe's.
Do they? Okay.
Oh, not frozen. Fresh.
Oh.
Excused from the slapping.
That's right. Okay, so that's right. They have raw diced onions at Trader Joe's. That's what it is, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine to use those too.
Absolutely. Yep. And if you want to cut onions, if that's your thing, you feel free to cut. And I think this is probably 2 onions worth.
If you don't mind getting slapped, you can cut onions. It's all right.
Well, Amy said that she thought that sounded like fun. I think she's talking about being slapped. So
that totally sounds like Amy.
Right. Cheryl said she bought them at Fred Meyer tonight. Okay, cool. All right, 1 All right, what else? We got one more ingredient, don't we?
One more. Chopped green bell peppers.
Okay. What happens if I chop regular green bell peppers?
10 ounces. I'm using the whole bag.
You won't get slapped for chopping bell peppers?
No. You might get an eye roll.
Okay. Just got to know where the lines are.
Here's my spaghetti. I'm just going to squish it and mix it all together, because if I don't squish it right now, then the meat, when it cooks in the crock pot, is going to be all chunky. I don't want.
Do you see Amy's comment?
No, what did she say?
She can't find frozen chopped onions or peppers in her garden.
Oh, well, you're excused. Okay.
If you can figure out how to grow those, let me know.
Oh, Karen has a trick for dicing onions without it hurting.
Oh, tell us, please. Because I cry.
Maybe she can send us a video. Does she have a video of it? Is it just the holding bread in your mouth? Because that's what my parents taught me. You ever heard that? Just hold a piece of bread in your mouth and it stops it?
I have not heard that.
It doesn't work.
I've tried a candle. I've tried refrigerating them. I've tried freezing them. I cry every time.
All right, so what do we do with the spaghetti to make it when it's ready?
Okay, so this is ready. It's ready to be frozen. I would label the bag so you know what it is, because frozen things look different than what you remember. When you're ready to cook it, just literally, it's going to be a frozen block. And take the block out of the bag, put it in your crock pot, turn the crock pot on low for 8 hours or high for 6 hours, and you will have a meat spaghetti sauce to serve over cooked spaghetti noodles.
Okay, so don't put the spaghetti noodles in the crock pot. Cook your spaghetti noodles separately. You'll have your sauce in the crock pot. Put it together, you got spaghetti.
Yes, and if you notice, we put green peppers in here. So that means this is the meat and the vegetable at the same time. You don't need a side dish unless you want one.
Cool. We usually have 7-minute green beans with spaghetti.
I know, and
we have green beans all the time.
Salad is really good with spaghetti. So
salad, yep.
But if you don't want to or don't have it, and you just want to have something quick.
Amy uses old swim goggles to cut her onions.
Nice. Amy's a triathlete.
The swim goggles don't seem very sharp to me, though. I don't know how you would cut onions with swim goggles, but it works, you know.
It's awesome.
That's funny.
All right, are we ready for the pizza pasta that everybody's been waiting for? Do we still have all of our viewers and our ratings high?
We lost one. We lost one.
Oh, maybe the waiting actually turned them off. They said goodbye.
Uh-oh, Amy got spaghetti sauce on her computer.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What's going on?
All right, are we ready for pizza pasta? Okay, you guys, this is basically like pizza in a crock pot. It's everything but the bread, I think, and we use noodles instead of bread. Okay, so you got your gallon Ziploc again, or zip top, no brand names. I'm coming. I had it all ready. Okay, so this one starts with 1.5 pounds of ground beef. Again, 90% lean or leaner. You sense the theme. Okay, 1.5 pounds in your bag. 3 ounces uncured pepperoni. I chopped mine into little dices. Dice sized. 1/2 bag about frozen diced onion. This is more or less. No need to be exact. Another thing I love about freezer meals is you don't really have to be exact. Okay. Mushrooms, which I'm skipping because my husband does not eat them. But if you're using mushrooms, throw those in right now. Black olives, again, I'm skipping. Just like pizza, you can order it however you want, right? Okay, Italian sausage. This is, the Field Grains is a vegan Italian sausage that I personally really like. But Tamara doesn't like olives or mushrooms either, see?
You don't have to put them in, right, if you don't want them.
Exactly.
So if you wanted to use a non-vegan sausage, you could use something uncured, maybe a chicken sausage, something like that.
You could, but I haven't done the math to see if that would make it over 10% yellow with the pepperoni.
Right. Yeah, so you don't want to put, like, if you really want to stay in the 90-10 principles with 90% green tier and 10% yellow tier, which some people maybe don't know exactly what that is. I'll go over that in a second after we finish the freezer meals. But you don't want to have too much of the yellow tier meats, which are like, uncured pepperoni, uncured sausage, the fattier meats. So
this is from Field Grains, and it's green tier. I've read the ingredients, and it's all green tier, and it tastes exactly the same as Italian sausage. So I like to use it as a green tier substitute for Italian sausage, but it's up to you. I mean, I know vegan meats are kind of scary to people, so whatever.
I was just joking. I was just joking about the lentil loaf.
Yes, I know. Okay, I skipped over the bag of frozen green peppers, but here's my green peppers. Those are going in.
Where do you normally get the Field Grains sausage?
I buy mine at Sprouts or Natural Grocers, and it's in the section with all the other fake meats. It's kind of between the yogurt and the eggs. Dairy, I guess.
Wonder if they have it at Trader Joe's. I skip that section usually, but
they have it at Fred Meyer.
They have it at Fred Meyer?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not bad, and Field Grains has a bunch of different flavors, but this is the only one that I have found that is green tier.
The Italian sausage one.
Italian sausage. The chorizo, however you say that, isn't. And I think they have another, like they have a brat maybe, and that isn't. So again, you just have to read ingredients, just like we always do, just to make sure. Okay. More pasta sauce. This one is marinara. The other one was tomato basil. But the ingredients are still green tier. So we're good with it. And we're just going to dump that on top. Don't get it on your computer, Amy.
Amy, you're still following along? Doing good?
All right. And that is all that goes in the bag.
Yep. Okay. She's good. Awesome.
Okay. Now.
She's green.
What I like to do with the cheese is I like to grate it ahead of time and put it in a smaller bag, like a sandwich size or something like that. And then I put it on the outside of this bag, but on the inside of the outer bag, and so that it's all together. And I stick it all in the freezer, so it's all together, ready to go. I have my whole meal right there. Because you're going to put your cheese in last. When it's all cooked and everything, you're going to put your cheese on top over the cooked pasta, just like with the spaghetti.
Cool.
This one is a really popular one with people who don't necessarily love 90-10 cooking because it doesn't taste like 90-10.
Right. Now, let me ask, what could be the name of a show? Oh, I'm Cooking with Heidi. Yeah, that would be the name of a show. I like that. Let's do that. We should make our own show. It'd be more like a reality show, but
we kind of do with these webinars.
we kind of do. It's like we're on TV. Okay, so I just want to ask how many people. Now, everyone should have gotten emailed the link at least twice to the recipes and shopping list for this. If you didn't get that, let me know on the chat, and I will put the link in the chat so that you have it. Everyone should have got it on email. If you didn't, be sure to let me know here so that I can get it to you easily right now. Got it. People got it. People got it. Excellent. Does anybody, Heidi, do you have anything else on the freezer meals? Are we done?
That's all I have for freezer meals as far as what we're making tonight.
Does anybody have any questions on the freezer meals or about 90-10 in general?
I have a question.
Okay.
Does anybody have any requests for the next freezer meals webinar?
Oh, that's a good one. We're gonna do one of these every month. We'll do a free freezer meal webinar. So what do you got? Think of meals that you'd like to see as a freezer meal. Some things probably don't really fit freezer meals, but if we can do it. Or maybe you're in the freezer meal group and you know of some of the ones that are recipes already and you'd like to see them on the webinar or something. Anybody? Freezer meal chili. We could do your vegetarian chili, Heidi. Does that work as a freezer meal?
Yep, it totally does. And I can even show you how to add meat to it.
I bet you that Lisa's chili actually, or Lisa's Southwest stew actually works as a freezer meal too.
Oh, not Southwest stew. Chili.
I bet you it does though. If you just put that in.
I got burritos down. Awesome.
Burritos, excellent.
So for everybody on this webinar, the reason why Ryan calls my chili Southwest stew is because it's better than his chili. And if he calls it stew, it doesn't have to be in the same category. And so, you know, just saying. Or
it could be because it has salsa and black beans and pork loin in it, which is not what I call chili.
Not what you call chili.
I know. Ryan is the end-all, be-all of chili definitions.
Apparently.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Merriam-Webster of chili.
Cheryl says chicken something. Chicken something.
I wrote it down. I will come up with chicken something.
Chicken something. We should actually call it that.
Let's.
Yeah, let's do chicken something. I like it. Okay. So the spicy chili. Spicy chili. Yes. Actually, Lisa's Southwest stew is pretty spicy.
It can be.
And my chili can be pretty spicy too, if you want it to be. But you know, it's like a dial. You know.
It says the ladies are always right. Sorry, Ryan.
Dang it. But you know, that came from a lady. You know, I mean,
yeah, we warned you about getting into business with two women.
All right. Well, so I want to thank everybody for being on here. I really appreciate you guys showing up live. I have a ton of fun doing these things. These are so fun for me. I love to just, you know, chat with people and I love telling the story that I told, you know, because it really did change my life. And so it's fun to show that to other people, and hopefully, you know, some people get something out of it, out of these freezer meal webinars that, you know, people will eat better, and maybe you'll share it with somebody else. We would love to see you share this with somebody else if you love what we do here and are seeing some results from it yourself. What I want to do now is I would like to take just a couple minutes at the end here to kind of go over the 90-10 Nutrition membership options and our app and stuff like that for people who are not members already, and explain the 90-10, 90% and 10% and the green and yellow tiers real quick. I'm only going to take about 5 to 10 minutes to do that, which means for me more like probably 20 minutes. But Heidi's like, but if you are already a member of 90-10 and you don't want to hear about the membership options and see the app because you've already got the app, then I promise that's the end of the webinar as far as, you know, the freezer meals and all that stuff. So you don't have to stay on for that. If you're someone who doesn't know what 90-10 is and you want to stay on for that, then let me show you. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen again, hopefully be able to show you. Maybe.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Show all windows. Okay. It's got to be on here somewhere. I will share it in just a second. Awkward.
That would be a good time for music.
All right. Okay, so I'm on, can you guys see that? This is on 9010nutrition.com. Everybody see that all right? Anybody? Or did everybody leave?
Nope. We see it.
Okay, good. All right, you guys can see it. Okay, so this is 9010nutrition.com/pricing. If anybody wants to go there, I'll throw that in the chat real quick. That's where I'm at right now. It has a little video that basically tells you something similar to the story that I already told you on this webinar. A couple of little testimonials and stuff, and then explain the green, yellow, and red tier. So the way 9010 Nutrition works is that we have a green tier, a yellow tier, and a red tier, and it's basically a list of food. So if you go to the site, you can actually click to enlarge, and you'll see the green tier in a picture, and you'll see the yellow tier, and you'll see the red tier. And the only thing you have to do in 9010, like literally the only thing you have to do, is eat 90% of your intake for the day from the green tier, less than 10% or less from the yellow tier. So you could do more than 90% from the green tier and less than 10%, but 90 and 10 is where we set it. And then stay away from the red tier. And that is like the entire 9010 nutrition program, and it works. And it works really well. Okay, so what happens is what we have you do right at the beginning is you go and you take a calorie calculation to get a basic idea of calories for your goals. And then you take 10% of that, and then you pretty much ignore the number of the total calorie number from there. Like, you don't care about it anymore. All you wanted to do was get a basic idea of what your 10% is. So as an example, if you did the calculation that we have for you and you came up with 1,800 as your goal, then you would get 180 from the yellow tier, but you don't have to hit 1,800. You don't have to count. No counting. Just eat from the green tier and make sure you don't eat more than 180 from the yellow tier. So anytime you have something that's yellow tier, you kind of count that and be like, okay, well, for me, one beer, about 180 calories. Okay, I'm done. Everything else from the green tier, right? And when I don't drink beer, I pretty much just eat from the green tier 100%, because that's really the only yellow tier thing that I care about that much, with very few exceptions. But I kid you not, that's the entire program, and it works really well, okay? It really is that simple. Now, our membership options, if you want to become a member, you have access to all the tiers and all that kind of stuff, plus our private Facebook community that we talked about that Lisa is the commander of. What other words did I use? Anyway, Lisa is in charge of the community, and she does a really good job of running that community. It's a very supportive place. If anybody's still on here that is in the community, you can, give me a thumbs up on that. Help me out here. Like, if you love the community, feel free to type in something. The community is awesome. Sam loves it. So our standard membership, you get access to the community. You get our 9010 Academy that helps you do the calculation and tells you all about how to do 9010 nutrition, which I almost just took you through the academy right there. You get some members only content that we have. You get the group coaching in the Facebook community. You get these webinars that we do all the time. You get lots of information about those so you don't miss them. And we do tons of recipes and tips and all that kind of stuff. So if you want just that standard membership, it's $5.95 a month, or you can pay on an annual basis, and it's $52, which means it's $1 a week, basically, to be a part of 9010 Nutrition. And you're a part of the family, and you get lots of support, lots of people with you on the journey. Then we have our premium membership, which comes out to $3 a week, or $156 if you pay annually, or you can pay monthly at $23.95. And the only difference between that and the standard membership is that you get a weekly meal plan. 100%, 7 meals, a shopping list, the whole bit. Every single week you get a meal plan. And it also comes on an app, which I'll try to show you the app here in a second, okay? The other option that we have that we just started is, I know some people sometimes, they don't necessarily want to do the monthly commitment or pay for an entire year or something like that. And they would rather just try it out for a short amount of time. And so we created the 6-week challenge, which is basically you pay one price, which is $49. There's no long-term commitment. You just get 6 weeks of the premium membership, basically, and then your membership ends if you don't want it to go any further. Okay, so you get the premium membership for 6 weeks, basically. That's the whole, those are our membership options. Standard, no meal plans, but you get all the support and all the webinars and all that kind of stuff in the academy. And you can use the app for the tiers and all that. The premium, which gives you the meal plans, and then the 6 week, which has no recurring, monthly thing or anything like that. So those are our options. The only other thing I wanted to show you is I'm going to stop this screen share, come back over here, and I actually just—
You're on twice now, Ryan.
What's that?
You're on twice now.
I know. That's because I'm going to share my phone screen.
Oh, wow.
So let's see if this works here. Oh, can you guys see my phone now?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so we created this cool little app that I want you to see. So right here, I'm just going to click on the 9010 Nutrition app. This is so cool, isn't it? Like, you guys are like on my phone with me.
It's awesome, Ryan.
So awesome.
Yeah, I need that kind of reinforcement. So here we are in the 9010 app. And if you had a premium membership, you could click on this menu right here. And look, the academy is there. The tiers are there. You've got my account, my profile, so you can change addresses. You can change what membership you have. You can do it all right in the app. But I think the best part of this app, you can click here on meal plans, and your meal plans that you have with the premium membership or the 6 week membership are actually right there in the app. So I just clicked on table of contents, and you can come and see, okay, in this meal plan, it has these items in it. And you can either click on those items right there, or you can go back to the menu and go day 1, meal plan 15, and it will actually bring up what the meal is and the entire recipe right there on your app. And it includes meal plan 15, includes your shopping list right on your app. So you can actually go— I'll get rid of my messenger there. You can actually go to the store with your app and have your entire shopping list for your meal plan for the week right on the app. So this is pretty cool. I mean, if you're a 6 week challenger or a premium member, you get to have everything right on your app. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's our meal plan app. I'm going to leave this on this one, leave meeting. And I think that's all I have really. So I put the link in the chat. If you're not able to see the chat, you can go to 9010nutrition.com/pricing. You can see all those options. You can sign up for one of them if you want to be a part of the community. If not, totally cool. We're glad that you came to the webinar and got some freezer meals, and we'll do another one next month. And it was awesome to have you. Every week Heidi comes up with a new meal plan. And every week it goes into the app, and it also comes out in a PDF version. Sam asked, can you buy just certain meal plans? You can buy certain meal plans, but the app versions are only for subscribers. So when you buy one of the individual meal plans by itself without subscribing, it doesn't automatically pop up in the app. The current meal plan for the week for subscribers is in the app. If you buy an individual meal plan, you get a PDF version of it, but you can't use it on the app, if that makes sense. So the app is not knowing, that specifically you bought that one, so it pops up. It keeps the current one there for all the subscribers.
Is every single week available for purchase individually?
Yes, every single week, and we're currently on week 15 and putting out week 16 on Friday. So every Friday I put out a new one, and they are all in the store for purchase, and they're actually available to purchase in the app as well. You just can't use it in the app, but you can use the app to purchase it. You can go into the store on the app if you like using apps, and you can purchase that, and then you get an email with the download for that PDF version of that particular meal plan. But all the subscribers can look at the meal plan, the current meal plan, and the previous 2 meal plans in the app. So, do we have any other questions? I didn't get to see some of the questions while I was blabbing.
We took care of it for you.
You got it. Okay. Any other questions? Nobody's got questions? Okay, good. Thank you all again for being on. That's all I have. Heidi, Lisa, anything from the furor of food?
No.
I don't think she likes that one.
She doesn't like it. That means that's her permanent name from now on.
Pretty much, yes. But we call her the grammar Nazi. Maybe that's how it came about. Maybe that's why I thought of it. I don't know.
Maybe.
Thanks for being on, Amy. I appreciate it. Bye, Tamara. Bye, Rochelle. Thank you all. I'm going to hit end recording.